encouraging here. We're talking about a jump in new construction that I think exceeded a lot of expectations, 3.9%, a 1.5 million rate of build. Applications to build also higher here, and of course permits to build single-family homes also higher as well. Of course, this is against the backdrop of mortgage rates at the highest levels that we've seen basically in a generation here. Square that circle for us as to why we're seeing so much strength when it comes to new build.
Yeah, I'm happy to, and thanks for having me today. I think you hit the nail on the head when you mentioned single-family starts. So we've seen that trending up, and of course we can't really rely on month-to-month data to inform what's happening, but I think what's really, really interesting is that when we look at single-family starts, they are rebounding and recovering. So why is that when rates are currently over 7%? Well, home builders are offering rate buy-downs. They're building more homes at lower cost, and they're really competitive with new entrance markets, which is competitive with renters. So renters who are delaying the decision or trying to choose between renting and owning are being lured by home builders today at lower prices with incentives that have really doubled from an average of 3% to 6%.
There's obviously some practical and structural issues as to why we're seeing that, Carly. I wanted you to sort of address this from the perspective of an investor, given how much Nuveen Real Estate actually manages, 150 billion plus. Give us a sense here as to whether you find anything of value to invest in the residential space.
Absolutely. For rent housing is one of our high conviction calls. We don't, of course, invest as a home builder, but what you see on the home building side, again, is new homes represent now 1 out of every 3 sales. That's compared to it typically being 10% of the overall market. What that tells me is that end of affordability is really strengthening. When you have a consumer who is now facing a mortgage cost monthly of double what it was 2 years ago, it's just become unaffordable. So when you look at average incomes, the average earner in the U.S. cannot afford a median home. And so that is igniting and sparking the demand for more affordable entry-level houses. It's also sparking demand for rental. We expect that to continue. And just from a macro, high-level thematic perspective, of course, there is still a structural undersupply of housing across the U.S. That's coming out of a decade of underbuilding post-GFC. So the coastal markets have really largely been ignored by builders over the last 5 years, and we would expect those to perform better going forward.
Carly, thank you. Carly Tripp, she is Global Chief Investment Officer and Head of Investments for Nuveen Real Estate.